You guys asked for it, so here it is. These are the best-selling RC cars of 2024 so far. Number 20. People tend to think the X-Max is the king of Traxxas cars, but it's not even on this list. Instead, the Traxxas UDR, or Unlimited Desert Racer, sits as one of the best-selling RCs for Traxxas because there's just something about this desert racer that makes it so awesome. From the looks and styling to the amazing suspension and, most importantly, the realistic driving performance. This truck is the real deal. But it's only our second bestseller from Traxxas in 2024. What do you think the number 1 is? Number 19. 19 was a surprise for me, and it was never even on my radar. This is the Tamiya BBX two-wheel drive off-road buggy, which is a take on classic Tamiya buggy designs prepared with more modern performance. For lovers of old RC car designs, the BBX hits a lot of boxes, and it's quickly soared to become one of the best-selling RC cars of the year. This buggy is a kit though, and it needs to be built, body painted, and extra components added separately. Number 18. The Axial SEX24 should be no surprise for this list, and for many years, it's been one of the best-selling RCs in hobby shops and one of the best ways to get started in RC. It costs only $120 and it offers high performance, easy upgradability, and scale looks, all for a price cheap enough for almost anyone. There's also a bunch of different body styles to choose from, but it's specifically the 1969 Chevrolet C10 in green that sold the most. Number 17. The Mini LMT monster truck from Losi is another hot seller for the year, and it stands out as one of the best realistic monster truck designs you can buy in mini scale. Plus, it's ready to run, it includes everything you need to operate it, and it's officially licensed. Now there's 2 body styles to choose from, but it's the Gravedigger that's most popular, gaining the most views and achieving the most sales as the 17th bestseller RC for 2024. Number 16. Number 16 brings us back to rock crawlers with the VS410 Phoenix from Vanquish Products. This truck is another kit, but it's offered with either portal or straight axles, and it's the portal axle version that sold the most. Both trucks are pretty amazing though, with a hardy chassis construction paired with the VFD twin transmission that allows on-the-fly selectable dig and selectable overdrive if you add the extra servos to operate them. Number 15. We've got another rock crawler on the list, and this is one of the least expensive SCX-10-3s you can buy, and it must be the sweet spot. This is the SCX-10-3 Base Camp from Axial, and it has all the great features of this 3rd generation rig, but with a more bare bones and non-licensed body. So it's still gonna perform every bit as good, but without that officially licensed tax. The Base Camp still comes spec'd out with some pretty nice components and a pretty good looking body with 3 color options to choose from. Number 14. Turning back the clock, we're going vintage with the release of the Kyosho Optima Mid 4-wheel drive buggy kit, which is a limited edition 60th anniversary nostalgia revival for all those old school RC racers of the late 80s. And apparently, there's a lot of them because since its release back in February, the Optima Mid has been a top seller for not only the RC racing category, but for all the RC categories overall, making it the number 14th most sold RC. Number 13. This is the Enduro Trail Runner 4x4, and in addition to being a good looking truck with an independent front suspension and solid rear axle, it's part of a promotion where when you buy it, you also get an Enduro 24 mini truck free with the purchase. So considering the Trail Runner is only $275 and you get 2 trucks, no wonder we sold so many. Number 12. If you guessed this right for Traxxas, good job. The number 1 selling Traxxas vehicle at AMain Hobbies for this year is the TRX-4M Mini Rock Crawler with the Ford Bronco body. All the TRX-4M trucks sold really well actually, but it was the A51 color scheme that sold the most. These mini trucks are extremely impressive for their size, being a little bit bigger than an SCX-24. They cost a little bit more too, but they offer big capabilities, big upgrade abilities, and big realistic looks. Number 11. Finally, something big. This is the Arrma Kraton 6S BLX EXB, and it's one of the gnarliest all-around bashers for everyday full throttle RC fun, which is why it's coming in at the number 11 spot. Now for anybody looking for an 8th scale 6S compatible ready to run, it's hard to turn away from the fast-paced excitement this truck offers. It has a large footprint, large tires, and extreme power, allowing it access to chunky terrain that many trucks just can't cope with. Plus, it's got a 65-mile-an-hour speed rating, which makes it a no-brainer choice for all-out bashing fun. Number 10. For the 10th best-selling RC car, we return to the vintage realm with the Yokomo Super Dogfighter Race Buggy, which is a 4-wheel drive buggy re-release from the 80s, now available again. This might be one of the biggest vintage re-releases of 2024 because it sold the most in that category, beating out the team-associated RC10. But that may also be due to us not receiving as many RC10 kits because we can only sell as many as we receive. Number 9. Short course trucks used to reign supreme, but in 2024, this is the only one to make the list. It's the SCT410 2.0 from Tekno, and it's a brute-like 4-wheel drive truck in 10th scale size, although it's made from the bones of a larger 8th scale platform. So it's got oversized suspension parts, oversized drivetrain, and it can handle 4S LiPo power, which is pretty impressive because this is supposed to be a race truck on 2S, but it makes for an excellent basher, which we've tested and sent to the moon, and it did not disappoint. Number 8. Next is yet another rock crawler from Vanquish. This one is the ready-to-run VRD Stance comp truck with portal axles. And as far as ready-to-run rigs go, it's one of the best. It's intended to be a competition-ready rig, so it's more of a bare-bones platform designed for low weight, low frills, and ultra-high performance. And it comes with great electronics to back it up. Plus, it's got an angled skid plate, overdrive, servo on axle, and a 4-link suspension. There's also 2 body color options to choose from, and the silver sold the best. Number 7. The Arrma Grom is next, and wow, has this vehicle made a name for itself. And in the number 7 spot, it belongs to the Typhon Buggy, which interestingly enough, only came out in March of this year and doesn't have any sales data for January or February, but still comes out on top of the best sellers. For being mini, 4-wheel drive, inexpensive, and a complete ready-to-run package, it's not surprising why this high-performance mini basher has become so popular and is helping push the mini trend even further. Number 6. Getting back to 1/10 scale rigs, the number 6 most sold RC car this year is the Red Cat Ascent Fusion LCG. This truck was released in April, so even later than the Grom Typhon, but it's been on a tear ever since, being one of the best-selling rock crawlers we offer and coming stacked with all sorts of high-performance features aimed at performance enthusiasts. The truck looks really good too, which is typically a trade-off when trying to achieve high performance, but the Fusion LCG pulls it off, and probably why it's on here. Number 5. Red Cat's going back to back here because the Ascent 18 1/18 scale mini rock crawler is next, and we made a whole video on this truck and then a second one on just upgrading it, and I can tell you, it's definitely the best mini rock crawler you can buy. It's not perfect, but for the price, the performance is excellent, the looks are great, and the electronics are just superb for a ready to run. And of the 4 different body colors to choose from, it's the red color that people purchased most. Number 4. This next vehicle was just released, and they're selling faster than we can get them. It's the extremely impressive Losi Micro B 1/24th scale mini buggy. Now this tiny buggy is probably the best RC you can buy for 99 bucks, and it would most likely be in the number 1 spot if we had enough to sell. But we don't, and we can't get more fast enough. But by the end of the year, I imagine it will take the lead and become the best-selling RC of the year. So if you want one and you can find it, buy it. Number 3. We're getting near the top now, and this one was a bit of a surprise for me. It's the 1/10 scale two-wheel drive race buggy known as the Team Associated B7, which is no stranger to us because we've been working on a whole video series with this to make it the best carpet race car we can, and honestly, it is fantastic. It drives amazing, it has great steering, big shocks, it's a great jumper, it's mid-motor, and it's got more adjustability than I know what to do with. For dirt track applications where traction is more limited, the B7D would be the choice, and it also sells exceptionally well. Number 2. For the second best-selling RC car of the year, this should be no surprise. It's the AMain Mojave mini desert truck. Now, just like the Typhon, this came out only a few months ago, but in that short time, we've been selling them like hotcakes and we can't order enough for all the demand. Every new batch we get sells immediately. If we could get enough, it certainly would be battling the Micro B for that number 1 spot. Now come Christmas time, we'll just see what happens, but I'm sure the demand for this cheap but awesome little four-wheel drive ripper won't be slowing down anytime soon. So, what's number 1? If you guessed a crawler was the top dog, then pat yourself on the back, because the number 1 most sold RC for the whole year of 2024 is the VRD Carbon Comp Truck from Vanquish Products. This truck is pretty incredible, and it's very similar to the VRD stance in the number 8 spot, but it has more carbon fiber. It comes as a kit, and it requires all the components added separately. Demand for the VRD Carbon was at its highest at the beginning of the year, but it's been slow and steady ever since. Impressively though, Vanquish had 3 vehicles in this top-selling list, as did Arma. So guys, that's our list for 2024. It's not set in stone because the year is not done. So get what you can while you can. Check out our links down below if you want more info on any of these cars, or if you just want more RC videos, check these out.